check and see if we're public. Is that good? Check.
Okay.
Alright, guys. So if we are public, what? We are. Can you hear? Can you hear you guys good?
Yeah.
You can hear yourself good. Give us a check. Can you wait? Can you hear you and Zach good?
We can't really hear ourselves.
Try now. Talk.
Hello, testing.
Okay.
It worked.
Alright, guys, so first thing we're going to talk about is, first thing we're going to talk about is, obviously, our top, we're going to talk about our top four.
Top four.
Yep, alright, top four.
Braden,
What?
You started off.
Alright, let me just, maybe, hang on, oh, we're having some technical difficulty, oh god, technical difficulties.
What'd you do?
What is happening? Technical difficulties. There we go. Alright, do you see where it says top four at the end bottom now? Alright, so my top four, I got Alabama. Alright, so we're going to say, as of right now, who we think is going to be in the top four at the end of the year. Not like who's actually top four, we'll say who we think is going to be at the end of the year based off this week. At the end of the year, I got Alabama 1. I got Ohio State number 2. I got Clemson number 3 because I got Clemson beating Notre Dame in the bowl for that conference. And then I got Clemson jumping up to number 3 and Notre Dame going down to number 4. And I got Notre Dame and Ohio State in the Super Bowl, not championship. All right, go ahead, Jace.
Well, I'm gonna start off down at number 6. At number 6, I want to leave. I'm gonna leave BYU and Cincinnati out. I don't think that they've had the resume or anything in the schedule to actually make the playoffs. So at number 4, I'm gonna go with. Number 4 is going to have to be Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame isn't going to be able to beat Clemson twice. Clemson, it's almost impossible to see them lose to the same team basically 2 times in a row in one season. So I got Notre Dame at number 4. At number 3, I got Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State has played as many games as Clemson and Notre Dame and has as many basically opponents that were good that they faced on their schedule. So if Clemson is able to beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship, then obviously I think Clemson will jump Ohio State. I just think Ohio State doesn't have the resume. And then number 2, like I said, Clemson. They'll beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship. And then number 1, I think Alabama is just going to roll over the SEC. And then I think when it comes down, it'll be Clemson and Ohio State in another bowl game, and it'll be Alabama and Notre Dame. I think Alabama and Ohio State will make it. I'm not saying Ohio State will make it because I'm an Ohio State fan. I just think Ohio State, after last year's loss, they're going to come at it a lot better than what they did last year, and they're actually going to finish strong over Clemson. And the Alabama and Ohio State game, I think Alabama doesn't have a really good defense this year. I think Ohio State, it'll be a really close game. I think Ohio State could definitely win.
All right. I just need to say, as he says, I'm not saying as an Ohio State fan. We just moved to the right a little bit, so we can all see that big old Ohio State flag you got behind you there.
Good one.
All right. All right, let's move on to Zach. Zach, what are your picks for the top 4 at the end of the year?
My picks, I have Clemson dropping to number 5. And
That's a big one. That's a big one.
My number 4 is Florida.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is Ohio State.
Okay.
My number 2 is Notre Dame. My
Okay.
number 1 is Alabama.
Alabama.
I have Notre Dame beating Ohio State.
Oh.
And Alabama beating Florida.
All right. All right.
And
All right. So there you got the top 4 picks. Next, moving on to the
underdogs.
next category. Let's see if I can get rid of this here. We got the underdogs, which will be taken first by Jace. So if you'll give me a minute here as underdogs. All right. All right. Jace, go ahead and start with underdogs.
Alright, well, I know this team's probably in the top 15, and this is the team that Ohio State played last week. It's Indiana. I think Indiana is a really strong team. I think they took over basically the Penn State team. I basically think that the good that was in Penn State shifted over to Indiana. A lot of people thought that Ohio State was going to blow away Indiana. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Indiana only dropped 3 spots this week. So I think Indiana is going to be one of those underdog teams. A lot of people are doubting Indiana because they've only played they've won maybe 4 games every single year the last 5 years, and I think that's the reason why everybody beats on Indiana. But they're a lot better, and everybody realizes how good and dangerous Indiana's going to be down the stretch of the season, and maybe even next season they could be even better, and they could also upset Ohio State. Another team that I have in the underdog category is going to be BYU. I think BYU is another team. Yeah, they're undefeated, but Cincinnati and BYU are definitely underdog teams. They get disrespected, but you got to think, though, that Cincinnati and BYU, if they want to be in the top 4 of the final year, they got to have basically really strong wins. In this case, BYU beat Northern Alabama last Saturday, 66-14. So that's something BYU needs to have. I wouldn't say every week because it's hard to do that every week. But basically, BYU and Cincinnati, they don't have the same resume as Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson would all have.
Mm-hmm.
So Cincinnati and BYU, and then one more I want to add to the cake is Northwestern. Northwestern, a lot of people disrespected Northwestern going in to play Wisconsin. Nobody thought that Northwestern was going to be able to handle Wisconsin with how Wisconsin started. Northwestern was able to win 17-7 against the Badgers and hold them to only 7 points. And Wisconsin was coming in averaging 55 points per game. Yeah, they only played 2 games before they played that game, but Wisconsin, they looked like a serious team, and I was high on Wisconsin. I thought they were going to be maybe a team that could challenge Ohio State this year, but it's unfortunately Northwestern and Ohio State looks like they'll have the Big Ten on lockdown, and Northwestern's going to be an underdog team as well.
Yeah, and then also, as you hit on, Indiana, as they came off of last year, they went 5-4 in conference, 4-2 at home, 3-2 away, and their overall record at the end of the year last year, they were 8-5 last year. I mean, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's better than a lot of other teams. But this year, as of right now, they're coming off of a tough loss to Ohio State as they moved to 4-1. I mean. But yeah, I'm with you right there with BYU. BYU didn't have the year that they thought they're having a way better year than they thought they would, and last year just wasn't their year.
If you think about it, Indiana should not leave Ohio with their heads down. They were down 35-7 at the start of the third quarter, and eventually came up and scored 20 unanswered. But unfortunately, Ohio State, they got another touchdown there in that fourth quarter, and they were able to pull away. So Indiana, they're definitely a strong team. They looked like they were about to get shut out by Ohio State, but Indiana, they are strong and they show pride on that football team. And don't be surprised if Indiana is going to be something real next year.
Yep, and the thing that I don't see Indiana doing, I don't see Indiana. All right, I mean, I'm just gonna say it for you, Hoosier fans. I don't think Indiana is going to be in the top 4 for the next 5 years. I don't see it happening.
It depends on what they do. Indiana, like I said, that's why they're on the underdog pick. They're so underrated.
Compared to last year.
Just like Northwestern. Northwestern finished 4-8 last season. Mm-hmm. They weren't even bowl eligible, and here they were coming into the Wisconsin game. They were 24-point underdogs coming into the Wisconsin game.
Yep.
And Northwestern, they took care of business over there. And so Northwestern and Indiana are definitely teams that are going to be something special down the stretch. It'll be exciting to watch them, see what they do for the rest of the season.
Definitely. Zach, do you have anything to say on the whole Indiana case or the BYU case?
Nope.
All right. Moving on, what we got next?
The lightning game of the day. West Braden.
All right, we're back. We're public. All right, Zach, what do we got next?
Lightning game of the day, West Braden.
All right, lightning game. Add custom text. Light. All right, here's where I am with the lightning game, the whole lightning game. For me, the lightning game, I have to give the lightning game to, which lightning game is pretty much what we think the best game of the week. I'm gonna start this one off. I gotta say, Ohio State and Indiana was one of the best games, because Kentucky and Alabama. That wasn't that.
We're not gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, that was definitely not a lightning game. But yeah, that's who I got. Like Jay said, Indiana was down hard in that. Coming into it, no one could get past the 50-yard line until the second quarter, but Ohio State started pulling away, and then Indiana made it close again, made a one-score game. Things started to get shaky, and Ohio State barely closed that one out. Jace, what do you got for the lightning game of the week?
I gotta agree with you. I think Ohio State and Indiana were definitely the only really exciting games to watch this week. Now, UCF and Cincinnati, that was definitely a close game. I think that's got to be a part 2 of the lightning game if we have one.
Mm-hmm.
UCF, they held their own against Cincinnati, but unfortunately Cincinnati was able to hold on. They won by 3, 36-33.
Yeah, and UCLA and Oregon, like you said, yeah. But another one I have to throw in there is number 13 Georgia beating not Michigan State, MS State 24-31. Now that, I mean, if you're Michigan State, or is that Michigan State, right? MS. Mississippi State, my bad. But if you're Mississippi State, that's not bad. For Mississippi State coming off of
It's not.
Coming off a loss to Georgia 24-31. I mean, they gave Georgia a rough time in that first half, But another one.
The thing with Georgia's had problems with the quarterback position.
Yep.
They've been looking for a star quarterback. Obviously, they're Jake Fromm, who was on the team last year, went to the NFL.
Yep.
Justin Fields, the transfer to Ohio State, he came from Georgia. Georgia would definitely be a better team if they kept Justin Fields, but instead they wanted to start Jake Fromm. So since then, they basically had problems there in Georgia, but now they started JT Daniels in at quarterback this week. Yeah, they only won by 7. If you look at the score, you're probably thinking that Georgia has another bad quarterback and they have bad problems. But really, that's not the case, because JT Daniels, he went 28 for 38 for 401 yards, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's the best. They said that was the best that Georgia has had by a quarterback since 2011. That was
I can't
remember what his name was.
Yeah, here's the thing. People are going to hate on Georgia's quarterback, saying, "Oh, he versed an easy defense. He versed this and that." Well, it could have been too easy for Georgia because they only won. They only won by 7. And the thing that I want to hit on is if they have a good defense. All right, their safeties are a little shaky, but they got a pretty good defense, solid defense. But a surprising game of the week. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. I see that one coming. Zach, what do you have as your lightning game of the week?
I have my lightning game being. Wait. I have my lightning game being Georgia and Mississippi State.
Okay.
I know this game right here was a 13-point game. Number 23, Auburn and Tennessee. This could be another lightning game. To start off, Tennessee was up 10-0. Eventually, Auburn came back and scored 10 more before the half. That game was tied at 10 going into halftime, and then Auburn pulled away. It was 20-10, and then they eventually won 30-17. But Tennessee was giving Auburn a little bit of trouble at the beginning of the game. I don't think it was a lightning game, but I mean, if you want to count the first half, then yeah, it was definitely a lightning game. But Tennessee gave Auburn a little bit of trouble, and all they could handle.
Yep. All right, Zach, what's next on the list?
Dumpster fire, Zach.
Dumpster fire with Zach Neville. All right, boy. All right, if you guys don't know what dumpster fire is people that were good and they just went bad. It's teams that, people had high expectations for them and just didn't meet their expectations. So, all right, Zach, take it away.
Well, we're going to start off with Penn State. Starting 0-5 for first time in history.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big one.
And another team is
technical difficulties. All right, so dumpster fire. All right, so as he's thinking of his next one, Jace, let's talk about the Penn State. As he said, Penn State starting off 0-5 for the first time in history. I know they came pretty close. They went 3-2 a few years back. But, I mean, they haven't versed that many hard teams. I know they versed Ohio State and Indiana. But I don't know. Their quarterback, irrelevant. They're running, they don't have anything going for them right now.
Yeah, a lot of people blame it on the 2020 season, how that season turned out to be. A lot of players have opted out.
Yeah.
But one of the best linebacker, he won linebacker of the year, Micah Parsons, played for Penn State. He eventually opted out, and I think a lot of people were blaming that on him. But the difference is not one player can change the entirety of the team.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying
for sure.
Penn State's got a problem. Penn State's not going to be good for another 5 years. I think Penn State, this is the breaking point of their team. I don't see them getting back to the high level program they were in the last 3 years. Mainly because I think they're just not at the recruiting level anymore. I don't know if it's the coaches or if these players. I don't know. But Penn State's got a real big problem down there in Happy Valley.
Yeah, ain't much happy down there in that valley. Zach, here's your second dumpster fire.
Right.
All right, Penn State, as you said, not finishing how a lot of people said they would, I think that I feel like Penn State, if Penn State can just get, I feel like coaching's a lot of it. I mean, Jace, I don't know how you feel about the whole coaching staff down there.
And I like James Franklin. I like James
Yeah.
Franklin down there at Penn State, but I don't know what the problem. I don't know if this is a talent issue or if it's just the 2020 season. But I'm hoping it's just the 2020 season because Penn State and Ohio State, they had some great games every time they play each other, and I'd like to see that for the next 5 years as well because those two teams always brought a very good game every time they played each other.
Yeah, and that is very true. I have to give it to him there with that whole thing. It ain't that bad, but their coaching staff, it ain't that bad. But I feel like the coaching staff does not live up to what it really like. I feel like it all determines on mostly like third down play calls. It'll be like 3rd and 10, and I've seen a 3rd and 10 where they decide to run it up the middle. I'm like why, there's sometimes when I think they should pass the ball, they run the ball. But Zach, you ready for your second dumpster fire?
Yeah, my second dumpster fire team is LSU, starting off 3-3 and winning the national championship last year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Although they lost Joe Burrow and other players to the draft.
Speaking of losing Joe Burrow, the Bengals today took a huge impact versus the
Heartbreaker.
Versus the Washington football. Go ahead.
With Joe Burrow, he has a torn ACL.
Torn ACL. All right, so Joe Burrow tore his ACL versus the Washington football team down there in Washington. A big thing with them is their line. But, all right, so there you go. There are the two dumpster fire teams that need to be improved.
Oh, we can't forget about Michigan.
Oh.
What's going on down there in Michigan? The Jim Harbaugh State, it's a disaster down there.
Oh, yeah, Jace, give us a little input on the whole dumpster dive down and the whole dumpster fire going on down there in Michigan.
This is ugly. 48-42 in overtime against Rutgers.
Rutgers. 3 overtimes.
3 overtimes.
That's probably one of the worst teams in the Big Ten the last 7 years. And they go and only win by 6. At one point, they were struggling against Rutgers, and they were down 17-7 at halftime. But Rutgers, unfortunately, Rutgers blew it. Michigan, they got a talent problem as well. It's just like Penn State.
Yep. The whole thing with my issue with the whole Michigan thing is I don't know. I don't know how they're showing that quarterback. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't really watched much of Michigan. But I know it's pretty bad down there. I don't think Michigan should be anytime rated. I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion on this. I don't think they're gonna win any more games. Who they got coming up? All right.
I mean, look.
Michigan football.
They have Penn State. And Maryland.
All right, we got the two Dumb and Dumbers playing. Penn State and Michigan.
48-42 yesterday against Rutgers in overtime.
They could get a win against Penn State. The two dumpster fire teams of the week, they're definitely going to get... Somebody's got to get a win there, right?
You got Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. Ohio State, easy dubs for Ohio State if they can hold on. Maryland, though, who are you taking, Maryland or Michigan?
I'm taking Maryland by 7.
Maryland
by 7? What are you taking?
I got to go Maryland. Tua's little brother's down there. He's doing a great job down there at Maryland. He had a rough first game but now they finally pulled something out. Maryland's
Yep.
not doing a bad job.
Yep. In the Penn State game, who do you have in the Penn State game? Jace?
I gotta go. Michigan. Michigan has a dynamic quarterback. The quarterback's probably the only thing that's good as a part of that Michigan offense. Penn State, there's literally nobody that's good on that offense. And Penn State can barely get anything going on offense. They're allowing 40 points per game.
Yep.
I just don't see Penn State being able to beat the Michigan offense.
Yep, Zach, who you taking? Penn State or Michigan?
I have Penn State.
Oh, okay. Okay, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Jim Harbaugh is going downhill with
Yep.
Michigan.
Yep. All right, with me. I'm taking. I'm gonna give you my rest of the prediction on the Michigan rest of the season. I'm taking Michigan over Penn State by 14. I'm taking Maryland over Michigan by 28. I'm taking Ohio State over Michigan big. That's all I'm gonna say. Next on the list.
There's the AP pool with Jace.
AP poll with Jace.
All right. Well, we gave you our top 4 at the beginning of the the stream.
Wait,
I'm not Oklahoma State though.
All right, give us the AP poll.
It was a disastrous game. All right, so we gave you our top 4 at the beginning of the game, or at the beginning of the stream. These are the official AP poll rankings that came out this morning. So we're going to start from 25, work our way up to number 1. At number 25 is North Carolina. Do you agree on that?
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
North Carolina definitely needs to be ranked. We're not going to spend a lot of time on these top 15. We're going to get into the bigger stuff. Tulsa 24. What about that?
Yes.
Big win against Tulane in overtime Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 23, Louisiana.
Oh, no.
I agree.
I don't Louisiana?
Yeah.
Louisiana. Are you kidding me?
Louisiana has 1 loss.
Are you kidding me?
What?
You're taking. Wait, what'd you say they were?
What did you say?
What'd you say Louisiana was?
Louisiana 7-1.
They're 23 though, right?
Would you like to know? Yeah, they're 23.
Louisiana football.
Their 1 loss
Okay.
was 30-27 to Central Carolina. Or sorry, Coastal Carolina.
Okay. They play. Who they
Coastal Carolina's ranked 15, so
Okay.
I mean I agree with it, I guess.
All right. They beat Arkansas State by 7. They beat UAB by 4. They beat Texas State by 10. And they beat South Alabama by 28. I do not agree with this. I think they should be. I don't. Oh. You know, they're going to come in here.
I mean, look, Iowa State
If-
is sitting at number 13 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Iowa State's sitting at number 17 in the country.
Okay.
They lead the Big 12. They're the only team with 1 loss in the Big 12. That 1 loss was to Louisiana, 31-14. So Louisiana beat Iowa State, who's currently number 17,
Yep.
and their only loss to Louisiana. They lost their very first game to Louisiana. It was 31-14. So I think I agree with this because Iowa State is a good football team, but if they have another close game, I don't think Louisiana needs to be ranked. I think that was just a luck win. Iowa
Yep.
State didn't know what football program they were yet. They were just getting things figured out. But Iowa State's the best in the Big 12, and they beat Iowa State.
All right. Moving on to 22.
All right, number 22, we got the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn football.
Auburn came off a 30-17 victory over Tennessee. Tennessee's 2-4.
Auburn.
Yeah, I
Auburn
agree
goes
with
at
that.
All right, yeah.
Auburn
Yep.
won 30-17 yesterday against Tennessee.
All right, moving on 21.
Mm-hmm.
Team getting crushed in the Bedlam game. Oklahoma State at 21. They lost to Oklahoma 41-13.
Oklahoma State. I agree with that. I agree
With
They
that.
dropped 7 spots. They were up at 14 last week.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, moving on.
Okay. Moving on, number 20, Texas.
Yeah. All right.
They moved
Yeah.
up 2 spots.
Yes, I can give them. I can give Texas. I can give Texas football. I can give Texas
Yeah.
over a huge win over Oklahoma State.
UT Austin will be playing Iowa State in Austin on Friday.
41-34. They beat Baylor, which last year Baylor's. I think I would put Baylor in one of the dumpster fire teams.
Yeah, Baylor's definitely a dumpster fire this year, but that's mainly because I think it's because they lost their coaches from last year.
Yeah, they beat West Virginia 13-17.
Texas had a bye week, by the way, last Saturday.
I think they should be ranked higher.
So
Moving
they
on.
moved up 1 spot. They moved up a couple spots. I think they're fine where they're at. We'll see what they do down the stretch. Number 19, moving on, USC. They won against Utah late Saturday night.
Yes, I think that is perfect spotting for them. As of right now, that is a great spot for them. They should be comfortable right where they at.
USC is now 3-0.
Yeah, I think they're in a comfortable spot where they can work with what they have. What's their next game?
They got a 28-27 victory over Arizona State, 34-30 over Arizona, and 33-17 against Utah.
All right, moving on.
All right, number 18, Wisconsin. That big loss against Northwestern. They dropped 8 spots. They're down to 18. They were 10 last week.
I think they should be down more. Moving on. They shouldn't be up
No,
there.
I don't agree with that.
They should not be up there. That is they should be happy with where they're at.
I think Wisconsin. They only lost by 10 to Northwestern. Northwestern did. I think Northwestern is a good football team. I think this is a good spot for Wisconsin after that loss.
All right.
We'll move on to 17. Dropping 2 spots is Marshall.
Yes. Yeah. Marshall. See, the thing is with Marshall. Marshall
is 7-0 right now.
Yep. Coaching staff has kicked in hard. But they haven't played anyone really impressive. They haven't played anyone that's impressive, and they haven't done anything really to impress me. I think they're good where they're at.
All right. Well, looking at their schedule, they beat Eastern Kentucky 59-0.
Mm-hmm.
They beat 23 App State 17-7. They beat Western Kentucky 38-14. They beat LA Tech 35-17. They beat FAU 20-9. They beat UMass 51-10, and they beat Middle Tennessee 42-14. Their game against Charlotte got postponed last Saturday.
Okay.
I think they are in a good spot. I think they should be down a little bit further though.
Yeah. Zach,
I agree with that.
Number 16, the Shocker, Coastal Carolina. They're undefeated as well. They came off
they are in a great
big win
spot
against App State.
They're in a great spot. App State isn't one of the best teams right now, but I feel like after coming off that win, I feel like they're comfortable. I feel like they can work with what they're at. I wouldn't be shocked if I see them going up some in the span of time.
Yeah, they're definitely one of those UCF teams we've seen in 2017, but I don't think they're definitely good enough to make the playoffs.
No.
Otherwise, we'll have a blown playoff.
Zach, you think they're comfortable where they're at?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, no, I agree with the seeding.
All right, moving on.
All right, moving into the big boys. Number 15, Iowa State. They move up 2 spots.
All right, yes. All right, we got to start rolling through
They
this
were
quickly.
17 last week. They beat they beat Kansas State big time.
That was a shocker. That was a shocker. All right.
Number 14, Oklahoma. They move up 4 spots. A big win against Oklahoma State.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they should be
They
higher.
basically took Oklahoma. They basically took Oklahoma State's spot
Mm-hmm.
from last week.
Yeah. And I think it should be a little bit higher, but
They
that's
moved
just
up
my
4
opinion.
spots.
All right, 13.
I think they're fine where they're at, but I think they shouldn't be as high as they are after their 2 losses. Number 13, Georgia. They didn't move any spots. They're still in the same spot as last week.
Yep, that's good. I feel like that's a good
31-24
spot.
victory over Mississippi State.
I think that's a good spot.
All right, number 12, Indiana. They dropped 3 spots after the 7-point loss to Ohio State.
I mean, Ohio State's a good football team. Not just because I'm a fan. I'm just saying Ohio State is a good football team. They've been in the playoffs. They've been a playoff contester for the past, I don't even know how many years. There was one year they finished, what was it, 5-6?
Yeah, 5 and 7.
2013.
Moving on, number 11, Northwestern. They jumped up 8 spots after the victory over
Yes.
Wisconsin.
I think it should be higher. That is a great football team. I would not be surprised if we see them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them in top 8. Zach, do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I agree with that as well. I think
I don't agree. I don't agree.
we
at
need
all.
to see one more win before they enter the top 10 because you never know if that's an upset. Number 10, Miami.
No.
No?
No.
No.
I definitely
No.
think they shouldn't be in front of Northwestern or Indiana or
Thank
Georgia
you.
at all.
Yep. Yes. I mean,
Northwestern, Indiana, and Georgia are all behind Miami right now.
okay. See, here's why I'm with the Hurricanes. All right. Let me read you off. All right. They beat Pittsburgh. Good for them. They beat Virginia. Good for them. They beat NC State. Good for them. Virginia Tech. They've played no good teams. This will be their one challenge. As of right now, it's set to happen December 12th. They will be facing UNC. North Carolina.
Yes. All right, moving on. Number 9, Oregon. I personally do not agree with this at all.
That I don't agree.
Oregon came off of a 3-point victory against a terrible UCLA team. Oregon, they also don't have as many games as any other team. I definitely don't think they should be in the top 10 already.
Yeah, I mean, it just disgusts me how they beat Stanford 14-35. They put a smacking on Washington State 43-29, and they beat a terrible UCLA team by 3. They should not be anywhere in the top 20.
Yeah, they haven't
3
even
games
had
in.
a rank win yet. Moving on, number 8, BYU, who is on a roll right now, undefeated.
Yep, that's a good spot. As of right now, that is a great spot for BYU. BYU coming off of a win, obviously, 66-14. They beat North Alabama. This is a good football team.
I agree as well. I think they definitely are a good football team, but I do think if they get to the bigger guys, such as Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State, they wouldn't be able to take them on. One of our underdog picks, along with Cincinnati, number 7, undefeated as well.
I think they should be right where they're at. I think by the end of the year, BYU will be 5 and Cincinnati will be 6.
Yeah, I agree with where Cincinnati and BYU are both laid at. We'll see what they do down the stretch.
Zach, are you comfortable with those
I
guys?
agree.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on.
Florida has 1 loss. This is to a Texas A&M team that's in front of them. Texas A&M's number 5 with a loss as well.
You're the one that said you were special.
I agree.
I agree.
A&M's only loss is to Alabama.
Yeah, and here's where I am. What is happening? All right, time out. What is going on? Robert, shut up! All right,
so that's number 5, Texas A&M. They're only lost to Alabama. Let's get into the top 4 here. Number 4, Clemson. We haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, though, due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, here's where I am with them. They lost to a very good Notre Dame team. I think they are good where they're at for now. But I think Notre Dame and Clemson are gonna be swipping, flopping positions here in a few weeks.
Yeah, we can't say.
Yeah.
If Clemson loses another game, they can't play. I don't see Clemson being in the top 4. We can't wait on Clemson for 3 weeks and expect them to still be in the top 4. We don't know if it's the same Clemson team. We don't know how Trevor Lawrence has been. We haven't seen Trevor Lawrence in 4 weeks.
Yep.
So they sit at number 4. Number 3, Ohio State, that 7-point victory against
Agreed.
against Indiana.
Agreed. Some people are saying we should be second. I think we should be third. We haven't played anybody really that tough. Notre Dame coming off of I think it was 2 weeks ago, coming off a big win against Clemson. They deserve number 2 spot. Alabama does not deserve number 1 spot. But they ain't moving. College people. Down in Alabama, they ain't moving Alabama. They didn't make the playoffs last year.
Zach, what do you think?
Why would they move Alabama? Zach,
I don't agree with.
Oh, get out! Oh, Zach.
Because the first 3 weeks
Yep.
for Ohio State, they played nobody at all.
They played 3 teams.
But they barely won against a good Indiana team.
Barely. Okay.
So
So
I think they should be number 4.
beat number. Oh, I don't know about that though. Where would you put Clemson? Number 3?
No, 5.
Huh? Who would you put number 3? Just leave it blank? Leave it empty?
Florida.
Florida.
They have a good.
Florida hasn't played anybody.
they
Zach.
have a good-
Florida. Florida has.
Florida does definitely not deserve to be in the top 4. They
Okay.
have a terrible defense. They lost to the Texas A&M team. They definitely don't. They don't deserve to be.
If you would have said Cincinnati at number 4 or number 3, I could respect that a little bit more.
But Florida.
Yeah, Florida's all right. Moving on. Number 2.
Number 2, Notre Dame. They had a bye week this week, so not much to say about them.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good right where they are. Zach, how about you? Are you good?
No,
Or you bad?
I'm good. I'm good.
I will say I may have Notre Dame in front of Ohio State. I may have Notre Dame in front of at number 2, but I personally am not.
Notre Dame number 1.
I think Notre Dame is not as good as what you guys say.
Oh,
Notre Dame is definitely. I think Notre Dame, that 12-7 win against Louisville, it got to me. I don't think that Notre Dame is as good as they are, but I can't punish
They can
them for
hang.
down at 4.
You seen them when they beat Michigan, first game of the year. Not this year. They can hang, and that's when Michigan was good. They can hang with the big leagues. They can hang with us.
That's last year, though. You never know.
They're still they hang with Clemson's defense. Clemson defense. Oh, they're missing the linebacker. They're missing. I don't care.
I'm just saying the ACC is definitely not as good as any of the other conference, like the SEC,
All right.
the Big Ten.
All right.
I'm just not on the
I've heard enough. Zach, what do you have? I've heard enough. Zach, what do you have to say about that?
I agree.
All right. Number 1. Don't even talk about him. No. Played.
No,
Alabama had a tough game against Kentucky last week. No, I'm just kidding. That's exaggerating. Alabama won 63-3.
Alabama.
I don't agree with this.
Alabama plays garbage. They play teams high schools could be. Okay, that's a little over exaggerated. But they play Mississippi State. Beat them 41-0. Great job. They almost lost to number 13 Georgia. If you guys didn't watch the game,
Georgia.
they lost. They beat Georgia 41-24.
Georgia's a good football team.
No. They don't have a quarterback. All they got is a defense, and that's it. Alabama. No.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Tennessee has nothing.
That's the thing. Georgia still blew them away.
Dude, Tennessee.
Alabama blew Georgia away 41-24.
No. If you watched the game, that was not a blowout. The score should have been a lot closer than what it says. Alabama should not be in the top 4.
Georgia did not score a single point in the second half.
Alabama should be at least 7. I'll give them 7. This is
at least. You're crazy, dude. You're crazy.
No, right now.
I think Alabama should go number 2.
Right now, here's what I think. Now,
I may not see what you guys think of Alabama right now is what I think of Notre Dame, and I'm not punishing Notre Dame and saying they should be down at 8. I think Notre Dame, from where they beat Clemson,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Alabama hasn't played a good team like Notre Dame.
At number 2, I think Notre Dame deserves to be number 2. I just don't think that they're as good as they are. I'm not punishing.
But here's the thing. Alabama did not play a Clemson team. They did not play a top 4 ranked team. They played. Let's see. Who did they play ranked? Oh, number 13 Georgia with no quarterback, with barely any defense, and they can't have a run game. They played nobody.
Georgia has a good defense, but they just didn't show up for that game.
Oh, I'll give them a good
They
defense.
also beat Texas. Look at this. They beat Texas A&M 52-24. Texas A&M is at the top 5 right now.
They. All right, listen. If
Didn't
you
say anything about that, right?
if you give Alabama number 1 spot, just leave. Just leave. Alabama should not be number 1. They
You
play.
let in your top.
No,
4.
Alabama's
Alabama's your top 1 and the top 4.
No, okay, no, that's at the very end. As of right now, right now, this is my top 4. All right, as of right now, my top 4. I got top 4. Right now, at the end of the year, yes, I had Alabama 1, but I think they're gonna pull through with Auburn. That's why I think they're gonna stay 1. But look, here's what I got. I think this right now it should be Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Keep in mind, they'll also play Florida in the SEC championship.
Okay, I think it should be Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, and Cincinnati. And since that's it.
Are you moving from 4 to 1 or 1 to 4?
Huh?
Did you just put Cincinnati in front of Ohio? Did you just put Cincinnati in front of Ohio State? Notre Dame,
No.
Clemson.
No. Notre Dame 1, Ohio State 2, Clemson 3, Cincinnati 4. That's how it should be. Alabama does not deserve to be in top 4. Alabama does not deserve to be in top 4. Zach, does Alabama deserve to be in top 4?
They should only drop to like 2 or 3.
3. Okay, I'll give you 3. But they do not need to be in the top 1. All right, moving on.
Ohio State. They also have Ohio State's only win is against Indiana. Indiana was just barely in the top 10. So shouldn't Ohio State be punished too if that's what we're doing?
Yeah,
the only team they played was Notre Dame. They lost to them.
Well, here's the thing with that, though. Ohio State is playing teams that... Okay, Ohio State is playing Indiana, all right? They're coming off of a couple great wins against some teams that were good last, and they're putting on the perspective of teams in their records, all right? Alabama record is totally off, all right? It's way better than what it seems. Moving on, what's next?
The players' injuries,
stat scores.
What's everyone?
All right. So basically, this is just where we talk about everything. I think. All right. Here's what I think. Jace yesterday. Let's start with this. Jace told me a story yesterday that Nick Saban had a heart attack on the sideline. That was cap. He said.
I know. I was just messing around with you.
He said Nick Saban had a heart attack on the sideline. I was like, no, they didn't. He was like, yeah, they did. Yeah, he did.
Well, I'm telling you, that Kentucky coach probably had a heart attack after looking at that school.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Let's speak a little bit on the NFL, because some people are asking me if we're going to speak on the NFL. A little bit on the NFL. What do you guys think? I'll let you all start off. All right, Zach, start off with the NFL. What do you think about the NFL?
For the
Anything. Talk
the
about
one
anything.
that we're on.
Injuries, no matter anything.
He wants you to talk about Joe Burrow.
Joe, okay. All right. I'll take it away. Today, Joe Burrow got injured. All right. Leading us out of the...
Hey, we're college conversations for a reason. We ain't talking about no NFL.
All right. We'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming in and listening to our little live stream here. Make sure to share with your friends. Subscribe if you're new.
Well, hold on. Well, I want to know what you guys... I want to know your guys' Heisman favorites.
Heisman, Justin Fields. Not Heisman. Not for Heisman. All right.
Top three, not just one.
Oh, top 3?
My top 3 is the Florida quarterback,
Okay.
the running back for Alabama, and Justin Fields at number 3.
Same. Except for I'll have to move the Alabama running back below Justin.
I don't mean to brag here, but did you guys see what Michael Penix did against Ohio State? 491 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. That's impressive, especially for an Indiana quarterback.
Well, okay, but here's the thing: they're a lot better now than what they were. Okay, Jace, you're dwelling too much on the past life of all these teams. Indiana is a very good football team, and the fact that they put those numbers, that was reasonable.
Well, me. I have Chuba Hubbard as one of them as well. So he's definitely one. I think he's definitely better than Najee Harris down there at Alabama.
All right. There's the last one. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. All right, do you guys want to say so long to him? All right, who wants to do the outro? I got it. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is College Conversations live every Sunday at 8:45. Right now, unless we postpone or whatever. And
Friday at 11.
Friday at 11 a.m. Since COVID's going on, we'll have to keep doing them virtually. As soon as COVID's done, we'll get together, do whatever. But as of right now, this is the only way we got. All right, here we go. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to share with your friends. Subscribe to College Conversations. This is College Conversation. Me, Jace, Zach. We're out of here. So long, Ohio State. Alabama's overrated. That's all I'll say. Alabama's overrated. That's it. All right, I'm done.